Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So I thought I would show you guys my mask. If you want to get the same one or a similar mask, they actually come with a filter inside. So I will not link below, but I will DM you on Instagram or Twitter if you want to get it. But I wanted to talk about first, I want to show you guys how this works. So this is the top part and it has like a wire that kind of like bends around your nose. And then this thing ties like this, and each strap goes over your ear, so it's like super secure, super tight, but then it's also breathable. Before I got a mask, one of my subscribers actually DM'd me, and his sister runs this mask company that is only doing masks because of coronavirus right now. This is like the first live stream where I'm saying the word coronavirus, which I think is so cool because I'm going to change the title before it gets made into a video, just because YouTube is demonetizing anything that has in the title COVID or coronavirus or quarantine. So it feels so freeing finally saying this, and maybe this will get demonetized because of this. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about a really basic public safety thing that everyone should be adhering by right now. And that is that coronavirus can spread through breathing. If you exhale, if you have the virus, which you can have the virus for upwards to a week and be showing zero symptoms, but you can be spreading it to other people by breathing. I'm not reports about it, World Health Organization. I think that, well, it's become very, very politicized, which I'm going to talk about in like 10 minutes. But I think a lot of people don't know this. If you are outside and you're social distancing, so you're 6 feet away from everyone, but you're walking down the sidewalk in a public place. So I'm not talking about like in your backyard or front yard. I'm talking about like walking on a sidewalk in a public place, in a park, going to the store, anything like that. If you walk and you breathe, and it does not have to be like sneezing or coughing, it can literally be exhaling. The virus can go in the air, and then someone else, up to 3 hours, it's just chilling in the air. Coronavirus is just in the air. Someone else can walk by and breathe and inhale and become infected. And so you should always bring your mask with you. This is my mask, and have it on at all times whenever you are outside. And I actually keep mine on even when I'm in the car, because if you're constantly like taking your mask on and off and touching it, you might touch the outside part, which could have coronavirus on it right now. So like I never touch this. I always have my straps tied up when I have it hanging on the coat rack. Is that what it's called? The thing on the door. Anyways, so that's my mask. Again, DM me on Instagram or Twitter if you want the same mask. The company, one of my subscribers' sisters runs the company, and there actually is an air filter. There's a pocket. I don't know if I can show you guys without touching the front. Yeah, there's like, I don't know if you guys can see right there, but the bottom part, it has kind of a flap. And it doesn't last in the air that long, but yes, masks are good. According to Harvard University, an article I read, it can stay in the air for up to 3 hours. You guys need to do your own research on this and trust the research. And what I've noticed is that a lot of times I'm outside and people aren't wearing masks. If it's mandated to go into a building, people will wear their masks. But if you're just walking around, people won't. And a lot of people I see are walking around, taking walks. It's really, really normal everywhere people are. But literally, if you exhale, you can be showing zero symptoms. You can be infected by coronavirus. Someone else can walk by, inhale, get coronavirus, and then that can spread. That person doesn't show any symptoms for like 7 to 10 days. And then you may spread it to someone who could die because they have a pre-existing condition that makes them more likely to die. And a lot of people have been saying, I've been talking about this on Twitter, and the backlash has been insane. Like, of everything that's ever happened to me on Twitter, this is the strangest, most infuriating thing, because it's a public health concern and it's a pro-life issue. If you don't wear a mask going outside and you're aware that you can breathe, inhale, exhale, and spread coronavirus, then you're not pro-life, you're pro-death. Don't call yourself pro-life. A lot of people were saying, when I talked about how we should be wearing masks outside, even if we are social distancing and 6 feet apart from someone, a lot of people were saying that well, you can't make me wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I have my American freedom. People are saying that, but also people are making it into a political issue. So it's like only conservatives. I mean, like, say in the live chat if you vote Democrat or you're more liberal and you're also against masks. But it's like literally only conservative people, like only Trump supporters who are against wearing masks. Like, it's bizarre. This isn't a partisan issue at all. This is a public health crisis and a pro-life issue. So it's so bizarre. Wear your masks and stand 6 feet apart. I know, it's so easy. Oh my gosh, it's insane. So that's my little rant about masks. I just wanted to start off the video talking about that because I think it's the most important thing, and it's getting, like, obviously a lot of people are, oh, another point I want to make. A lot of people are saying if you are elderly or if you have a pre-existing condition that could cause you to die, just stay inside. So there's several problems with that. Number one, some people live alone and have to go grocery shopping or to the pharmacy to get medication. I have to go to the pharmacy to get my bipolar meds. So because I don't have like a pre-existing condition where I could die from COVID, but I do have a pre-existing condition. And so I have to go to the pharmacy more than just grocery shopping. But a lot of people live with families or have caretakers. So if I'm not showing any COVID symptoms, I go outside without my mask, I take a walk, I exhale, coronavirus is in the air, someone else walks by who is the parent of someone with a pre-existing condition, they contract it, then they come home, and obviously you're not gonna wear a mask in your own home. I mean, maybe some people are. I live alone. But then they could spread it to the person who's more vulnerable in their family. So yeah, I hope that gets rid of all these weird excuses to not wear a mask. And something else people are saying is that a regular cloth mask, because there's sides that protect it, because there's sides that are open, like if you look at my mask, when I put it on, I'll show you guys real quick. There are, okay, so it's like this. So if you see like the side part, air can come in and out, and that actually helps me breathe a little bit. So yeah, this is not as good as an N95 mask, even though it has a filter in it, but it's better than nothing. It prevents some air from going out, it prevents the majority of exhaling from going out, and it prevents a lot of air from coming in. So being like, oh, it only protects you 50 person's life, and it's just like insane to me that people are literally dying, and people are so selfish and so individualistic and toxic, fighting against this and trying to reopen the government so fast and following the US instructions with the way the national government and the state government is responding to this federal government. Just follow people who are in charge, who are smart, who are talking, is identify with either political party. So obviously, like, he does good things. He signed a lot of congressional bills into law that are positive. But I think one of the most damaging things that Trump has done is he has gaslighted everyone because he is a sociopath. We've talked about that in videos before. Regardless of where you stand politically, Trump would be diagnosed as a sociopath if he went to a licensed psychiatrist or therapist. So he's gaslighted everyone to not trust traditional media. So people, well, look at Mike Pence, who's not wearing a mask, or Trump, who's not wearing a mask, and be like, the media's lying to us. Our elected officials aren't wearing masks, so therefore we shouldn't wear masks. Or like, I don't know what Fox News is spewing out, but something that's encouraging people to not wear masks. So people don't trust health authorities. They don't trust people who are way smarter than us, who know more, talking about the risk of coronavirus and why it's so important to wear a mask. And literally the reason this is happening, I believe, because I don't know any other alternate explanation, because it's bizarre how people are rejecting medical science and not believing people who are health experts. It's because Trump has gaslighted everyone. Propaganda. Like, why would there be propaganda about wearing a mask? Like, you're insane if you think that. Like, it's propaganda to stay inside. It's propaganda that people are dying. It's propaganda to be upset that people are dying. Like, I don't understand it. And I think it's because I don't watch Fox News, so I don't understand it. But I just wanted to say, as someone who's politically independent, that I think it's really, really important to remember that when you exhale, you can spread coronavirus with 0 symptoms. When you inhale, you can get coronavirus. So that doesn't mean don't go outside. It just means wear a mask, limit the amount of times you're at the grocery store and at the pharmacy, take walks, but wear a mask and it will protect you. So yeah, that was 10 minutes of talking about coronavirus and masks. If you just got here, I was showing everyone what my mask is. It is like a daisy mask and it has a filter inside it that you can replace. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. So yeah, I originally had like a scarf I was using and I like wound it around my head and it was so tight that it like constricted my breathing. So DM me on Instagram or Twitter and I will send you the link to the website where I got my mask that has the filter on it. So definitely get a mask that's comfortable to wear. And yeah, that's my rant. I think it's really important. I hope even if this helps like one person understand that breathing can spread coronavirus, that will save maybe one life by like one of you listening to this. So I think it's really important to prevent this from spreading. And this is going to be completely demonetized. So for the rest of the video, we can talk about everything controversial because it's already demonetized. If you are watching right now or after the fact, thumbs up the video, like the video, and comment on the video. It increases my place in the YouTube algorithm every time you comment, every time you like. So if you want to support my channel, obviously I have my Patreon, I have my PayPal if you want to monetarily support my channel. My Patreon is patreon.com/LizziesAnswers, so just my Lizzie's Answers. And my PayPal is my first and my last name, Lizzie Rizet. So if you want to support my channel monetarily, that is how. If you want to support my videos, also, just commenting and liking is like the best way to support my channel. So yeah, I'm going to read some of the comments and we're going to get into anything else you guys want to talk about. I got water damage in my phone and apparently my phone is supposed to be waterproof, but just by playing sounds and by like shaking it up and down, like don't blow in your phone if water gets in it. I didn't do that, but they were saying like, don't blow in your phone. That's the worst thing ever. But, just by like playing different sound frequencies, the water's drying out. So it's not perfect yet, but it will be perfect, I'm pretty sure. If not, I have Apple Care, but I think the Apple stores aren't open. Are they open? I don't know. So we're gonna go to the beginning. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of backlash about it. Did you do it? What does that mean? I love you. I love you, Ricardo. Hi, No. Hi, Bruce. I love you, Lizzie. Keep up the great videos. Thank you. I like your mask. Thank you, Common Sense America. Hi, Lizzie. I love your channel. Yay, you guys are being so nice. Literally, the nicest, least toxic place in my life is YouTube live streams. Like, I'm serious. You guys are so... Yeah, that's the thing, too, to keep washing your masks and washing your clothes and pillowcases. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm a huge proponent of washing pillowcases because with acne on your face, like, think about it. Your face is laying on your pillow, like, for 8 hours. And so regularly washing your pillowcases and replacing every few days, which is what I do, has actually really helped to clear up my face. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Amy. My pharmacy mails me my medication. Oh my gosh, so that's an option with CVS, and I was thinking about doing it. But literally where I live, packages get stolen all the time. And this was the same with my last apartment complex. I don't know if this is just something in LA. Are we like heathens or something? I mean, we have the biggest Catholic diocese in the world, so we're very religious. But yeah, it's weird. Like all the packages get stolen. I'll like walk in and there will be the lobby and literally like packages are opened up. So people literally walk in, open other people's packages and look inside to see if they want what's in it or not. And sometimes there's still something in the package and other times there's nothing in the package. So, the info on the virus is evolving so quickly. I read an article saying it's okay to not wear a mask if you're away from people. Until a few days ago, I didn't when I went out for a run, but now I feel really guilty about it. You shouldn't feel guilty because you didn't know. It's kind of like with confession in Catholicism. It's only a mortal sin if you had full knowledge about what you were doing. So it's just objectively not something you should feel guilty about. Like it's not a sin at all. It's not a mortal sin just because you didn't know what was happening with it. I'm a Catholic who accepts evolution as a fact. Good. Don't be a stupid Catholic. I know as Catholics we're allowed to believe in evolution, but I have trouble reconciling the facts of evolution with original sin. Thoughts? I've honestly never connected the two. So I don't understand what you mean by that. But I mean, I'm very black and white about things. So if an expert is saying something, I very easily believe it. And yeah, I am not a science person at all. So I accept evolution because really intelligent people who study that accept evolution. And the church encourages everyone to believe in evolution and says that it syncs up with our beliefs and everything. So, yeah, I haven't really thought about questioning it too much. I think this honestly might be a personality trait thing, which is what irritates me so much because I'm very submissive to authority. Like, I'm both. Like, sometimes I rebel against authority, but usually I'm very trusting of authority figures. And I mean, in general, my personality, like, I trust everyone so much. But Lizzie, how does it feel to be a saint in the apocalypse? What does that even mean? You think this is the apocalypse? Most places in New Hampshire require you to wear a mask. Yeah, so most places in the US, I assume, are like passing laws where you can't go into like a local business without a mask. So I think that's really important. Don't be dumb, wear your masks. Who else thinks there will be a population boom in like 9 months? Oh my gosh, because people are like just staying inside, so they're going to have more sex. I absolutely agree with that. The dollar store only lets 20 people in at a time. Yeah, I've been hearing that in so many places. There's long lines outside of like grocery stores, Target, CVS. So I think that's really, really great. It's frozen. I know it was frozen. Yeah. People left when it froze. I'm aware. Apple stores are closed. Oh, okay. I guess that's not necessary. Can you get better Wi-Fi? Maybe I should. I love you, Lizzie. You brighten my day up. I believe you are a blessing from God. Aww. Try putting your phone in a sandwich bag with dry rice helped me in high school. That's the thing. So, oh my gosh, the reason my phone got wet is because I washed my phone after I come inside when I've been outside to get rid of the virus. But what I do is I like wash my hands and I have soap on my hands and then I grab my phone and I go like this around the phone. But for some reason, water got in the bottom part, which I don't even know how. So I think I'm gonna get like Clorox wipes from now on and start using those instead. I just don't like getting Clorox wipes because it's really bad for the environment. So I like using like microfiber cloths and stuff, but clearly I think next time I'll use like a microfiber cloth and method spray. Maybe that would be better for my phone rather than like washing my hands and then just like putting. So, hi Vince. Our Apple store is closed. It's in the mall. I went to the dollar store yesterday, def more than 20 people in there. Where do you live though? I'm curious how it is in different states. Lizzie, you love Jesus, don't be scared. I also decided today I'm probably going to try to visit my parents this summer and my boyfriend will fly and meet me there too. Just because he still hasn't met my parents, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't get engaged before he's met my parents, right? Like, he should meet my parents. So they were going to, we were all going to celebrate Easter together. I was going to fly and they were going to fly and to where Trevor lives, and then that had to get canceled obviously, so I got reimbursed for my flight luckily. But yeah, so I hope that I can visit them, and I love Florida in summer so much, so maybe in June or July I'll go visit them there and I'll keep you guys updated on how it goes with introducing Trevor to them. I think it'll be really, really fun. Obviously there's some tension because we're both Catholic and they're both Protestant, but we sync up politically pretty well, so I think that will be a good bonding thing. So I live in California. Thought they met over Thanksgiving. No, we ended up canceling Thanksgiving just because Trevor had a really short break and he needed to like focus on his finals and his final papers and everything, and he was super, super stressed about it, and he didn't buy a plane ticket and was going to drive down, and so then that would have taken like 2 days of driving. So yeah, I ended up not going home for Thanksgiving. It was super sad, but because Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday. So it's her live stream. She can talk about her boyfriend if she wants. What did they say? I think that opening up the country is so wrong. Like, why are you killing people? Yeah, I have a virtual mask. Yeah, I never thought that the mask emoji would be so relevant. I like your sweater, Lizzie. Looks nice on you. Thank you. I bought this when I moved to California for college just because I had no sweaters because I had lived in Florida for 5 years, which South Florida like doesn't get cold ever. So I had to buy a bunch of sweaters, which is really fun. My birthday's Friday. Oh my gosh, let's FaceTime on your birthday. That's so cool. Lizzie, you love Jesus, don't be scared. I just finished Journey to the Center of the Earth. My Apple Store is open. You should get a Wi-Fi booster for your room. Maybe it'll help with the Wi-Fi. I'm referring to the existence of Adam and Eve versus evolution. Okay, so current science of evolution believes that there were two first, like, parents or people. So it fits along with Adam and Eve being like our first parents. So I know I'm horrible at science and probably explained that wrong. So I'm not the person to come to with questions about evolution and Christianity because I'm not a science person at all and don't understand it, but I trust professionals and scholars. Why do they require us to wear a mask if you can get through the eyes? Because you can prevent it from getting through the nose and mouth. That's kind of like saying, oh, this isn't 100% perfect. It's only 80% perfect. So then let's ditch it all together. Even if it was like 10% perfect, then, you know what I mean? And the other thing is it really, really, really prevents you from spreading it. So like if you're asymptomatic, so you have it, you could be tested positive, but you have 0 symptoms, the mask prevents you from exhaling into the air, and so you can't spread it through your eyes. So a lot of the mask isn't about like not getting it, but not spreading it. So, and just because it's not perfect doesn't mean we should ditch it all together. Like, that's such a stupid argument. I don't understand why people are using that. I feel bad for people who have to stay home with domestic abuse. That's true. That's really, really sad. I want to be a producer with a hit show on Broadway. Cool dream. But you're not sick, though. A lot of people can have the virus and not know that they have the virus. Like, you'll have it for 7 to 10 days before showing any symptoms. Can I please join your Bible study? Yes! DM me on Instagram and I will try to get you into one of the groups. The groups are pretty small. There's like 10 people in each group, so we could definitely add on an 11th person. I'm going to live stream Thursday night to count on to my birthday. Aw, on Instagram. Wear sunglasses to protect your eyes from the virus. Wear goggles. Wear plexiglasses. I've been home since March 17th. Can I please join your Bible study? Oh, we already read that. Perfect love cast out fear. I'm not scared. I feel so safe when I'm wearing my mask. Thanks. I just feel bad for not knowing you had to wear a mask outside, even with social distancing, because I don't want to accidentally murder people. Yeah, absolutely. And you have such a good conscience that you're like really convicted about that and care so much about someone who you could never meet, but who could die. And like, if one person dies, think of everyone in their life who's like traumatized by that person is gone. Thanksgiving is the best holiday. Y'all are tripping. Christmas is better than Thanksgiving. Anyone immune compromised should wear masks. The virus is scared of me because I fear nothing. The sooner people give in to tyranny, the sooner we will become slaves. Okay, interesting. I think you have a messed up view of what freedom is. There's positive freedom and negative freedom. We learned this in my political science class in college. So negative freedom is saying, I want to do drugs. I want drugs to be legal so I can do drugs. That's my freedom. Positive freedom is if I'm addicted to drugs, I'm addicted to the drug and a slave to the drug. So I want a law banning and getting rid of all drugs besides like coffee and alcohol. So that's positive and negative freedom. I think that American culture is very much negative freedom. And so that's why all these issues are coming up with people not wanting to wear masks and everything. I think it's this new mentality to avoid responsibility altogether. Are you enjoying the Bible studies? Yes, it was like the high of my week getting to do so many Bible studies and meet everyone. And I think what's really cool is getting to hear people's perspectives of how scripture affects them and how they are living it out and struggles in their lives. It just makes me think so much deeper about scripture and about God and how I'm living. So I think that it's amazing getting to hear so many people's perspectives. That's been my favorite part of Bible study, like in college and beyond when I've been in them. It's just so fascinating learning how other people think and how they serve God. So it's been really, really fun. I actually have to do some more research tonight or tomorrow just because I thought we were going to get through one chapter a week, but we went through like half of a chapter in every group. So, yeah, but I want to make sure I have some of chapter 2 done in case we fly by it. So, agree about freedom, but if we have to wear masks, then open the states. So the main way that it spreads is by touch. So if you touch a door and then someone else touches a door and then you touch your face, you can contract it. So I think it's really good. Like a lot of grocery stores have automatic doors. But if you start going to like restaurants or bars and they have bathrooms and you have to like open the door and then like turn on the sink, like little things like that, you can touch it and then contract it. So obviously, like, I'm not a professional, I'm not a disease expert, I'm not a health expert, so I'm not the type of person to ask these questions, but I trust that the professionals have our best interests at heart. They're not just like, I hate the economy, I don't want people to work, I hope we enter a Great Depression that ruins so many people's lives and makes it so they can't pay rent and become homeless. Like, do you literally think that's what the professionals are thinking? They just hate the economy and intentionally, barbarically are ruining everything and hurting people's lives by not opening the government? Like, really? Like, do you seriously? Like, that's so conspiracy theory. So, I'm a professional. Let's not talk about politics. It's bad ideas, especially nowadays. I'm not talking about politics. Could you by chance do Bible study live streams in the future? Please and thanks. I have a John Bible study live stream, so I can continue doing that if you want. Some people wanted me to. I kind of got bored of it, but I can totally continue doing that. How long will the states be shut down then? So Florida is beginning to open. My family lives there, so I'm keeping track of them. We talk on the phone and everything. I just talked to my mom today because it's Mother's Day. It's also one of my best friend's birthdays today, so really exciting. Do you have any weekday Bible studies? Yes, I have Bible studies on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Have you seen any funny custom face masks? So this is my face mask. I haven't seen any like things that I'm like haha at that are like really, really bizarre. So yeah, I think people should get more creative with their face masks. But DM me on Instagram or Twitter and I can link you the place where I got my face mask. They have some pretty great designs on there. Even if the economy were to open up, things will never be the same. Yeah, absolutely. Marijuana is illegal because of racist history. There is so many benefits to marijuana. Yeah, I'm totally for the legalization of marijuana, and you're totally right. It's like insane how much minorities in the country have been put in jail for a drug that's not even dangerous. I miss RCIA. It's so sad. Why aren't you doing it on Zoom? You could do a virtual RCIA. I'm giving a testimony Friday night during my Bible study with my friends. Oh, that's so cool. COVID is a social sickness. Virtual RCIA isn't the same. Okay, I agree with that. Virtual mass isn't the same either. Let's all pray a rosary this Mother's Day to honor the most blessed of all mothers. Yes. They sell them at the gas stations for $8. Are you talking about masks or marijuana? Notice how going to church is considered non-essential, but having abortions is. Yeah, that's really bizarre to me. These are the liberals who want to rule over us. I am just not into conspiracy theories, so. People whining about masks are really privileged. I lived in a country where SARS had an outbreak and killed a lot of people. Be happy the government functions in the US to help the public. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't understand why Texas is not in quarantine anymore. Yeah, that's really weird. The anti-lockdown protesters remind me of how pro-lifers see pro-choicers. I saw someone with a "my body, my choice" sign, and I just think your freedom ends when it puts others' lives at risk. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I wish Bernie were still running for president. Yeah, Biden has this sexual assault allegation against him, which is horrifying. So I wish that people running for president and running for Supreme Court justice didn't have all these sexual assault allegations against them. It's just like we live in such a barbaric society that our global leaders are accused of things like this. It's just like saying that it's okay for men and women to sexually assault people. So yeah, it's really, really messed up that all this is happening. So obviously the video is already demonetized, so we can talk about serious things on here, but it's just like horrifying to me that that has to happen to anyone. I sent you a Twitter for the mask. Awesome. Okay, I'll check my DMs after this. Did you hear about the Pentagon? What is the first thing you're going to do when the quarantine is over? Go to the beach! For me, is give my friends and family a hug and then go back to the gym and trying to go super salon. Why do you have that word on title? I'm going to change it before the video processes. Lizzie, I love you so much. You are the nicest person. Oh, that makes me so happy. See, I was saying that my live streams are like the nicest, least toxic place on the internet. That's crazy. Fatima, are people going into businesses without masks? Biden's son accepts bribes on his behalf. As an example, the deals in Ukraine and the $1 billion deal in China during the VP run. Have you heard about taking the sun for getting the benefits of vitamin D? Yes, my old psychiatrist back when I was in college recommended me go in the sun for at least 30 minutes a day for vitamin D. And oh my gosh, guys, so I'm a horrible vegan because I've never taken a B12 supplement. Well, no, I did when I first went vegan, and then I took it for like 8 months, and then I was diagnosed with bipolar like so I became vegan the very beginning of my senior year of college. And so I was taking my B12 supplement. But then when I started taking bipolar meds, I had to take like 11 pills a night because I was on like an omega-3 supplement, a vitamin D supplement, like 3 lithium pills, Lamictal, what other one was I on? I totally forgot the name, but I was on like 3 medicines. Each one had multiple pills, and then I was on omega-3, vitamin D, and I was taking so many pills a night. And so I just like gave up and went off all my meds because it was so frustrating and just like exhausting. So after that, I never took a vitamin B12 supplement ever again. And I'm probably like completely deficient in it, but I haven't had any negative side effects. So I assume if I was super deficient in it, I don't know, would you experience something? What are your guys' experience? So aloe vera has B12. Yeah, and B12 is in like some of the Morningstar or Gardein like fake meat products. They have B12 in them and in like almond milk and stuff. So I think that I've been getting it from those a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. So have you ever had side effects? No. The thing I was thinking about though, I get dizzy really easily, and I always have. Like, my family has really low blood pressure, especially on my dad's side, so I pass out, like, really easily, but I always know before I pass out, so I can just, like, sit down, or, like, if it's really bad, you go like this, and you, like, put your hands in your knees, and you just, like, sit like that, and then it makes the dizziness go away. So I always have had low blood pressure, but it's been getting worse lately. So I don't know, like, I assume if I never have been taking it, why would it now be affecting me? So reading your comments. Our country is a third world country with a Gucci belt on it. That is interesting. Good Monday morning from the other side of the world. Good morning. Have you heard about taking the sun for getting the benefits of vitamin D? Oh, yeah, I already read that. America can't take another 4 years of Trump. Hi, Lizzie. Do you think it's right that Kavanaugh's accuser was interviewed and believed by left-wing media, but Biden's accuser is not being interviewed by any left-wing media? So I read an article in the New York Times about it. NPR reported it a lot. NPR is very centrist though, which makes sense. So yeah, I think it's pretty ridiculous that one person was believed automatically and one person wasn't. I think we should generally believe most women. Obviously, like, try and believe all women and men. Men are also victims of rape and sexual assault. But yeah, I would never go into a situation like assuming someone is lying. People who accuse others of sexually assaulting them, it's people who are making it up is the same percentage as for any crime. So it's not like more people are making up getting raped. So I tend to believe, obviously, you have to, like, before you convict someone, you should do a trial and look into it because some people have been falsely accused. But as someone who leans more liberal, I had the exact same reaction to Kavanaugh as the thing with Biden, where I tended to believe the woman who's making the allegation. The reason I believe both of them so strongly is because, so, trigger warning, obviously, for anyone who's been through that. But in both situations, they were sexually assaulted, but she, in the Kavanaugh's accuser, she was like almost raped, but wasn't. He was about to. And then Biden's accuser, he didn't like full on, you know what I mean? So I feel like if they were lying and making it up, they would have said they were full out raped. And they didn't say that. It was something a little bit lesser. Obviously horrifying and scarring and something so tumultuous. I don't know how you ever get past that. But you know what I mean? I feel like if they were making it up, they would have made it worse. And that's why I believe it so easily. And obviously, like, there's people in my life who have been through that. So, yeah, it gets me super emotional thinking about it. Just imagining people I love so much who have been through that, including guys, I know. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm consistent on the issue. It's really weird if anyone isn't consistent and has a different reaction to Biden than Kavanaugh. I think you should have the same exact reaction with how you process people who are accusing other people of having been through that. So, it's weird if people are biased. I don't understand how people could be biased on an issue that's involving someone's life being so violated. I have low cholesterol for myself. That's interesting. I know high cholesterol is dangerous, but I didn't know low cholesterol was a thing. Lizzie is the best thing to happen to YouTube. No, I'm not. Why are you on the floor? Because my tripod has been so messed up lately. Oh, I lost it. That's why. Okay. The tripod has been like falling over and stuff because I got a new phone and it's heavier. So yes, but yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I lost my tripod. That's always how I hold up my phone. And it's been hard because like I've been doing Bible studies too. And I have to like hold my phone physically. So I should just use a laptop. But hi, Lizzie. How are you? Have you discovered more about the doctrines of the Catholic Church since your conversion? Yes, I've been researching more and more every day. I barely take B12 supplements, but I have normal B12 according to my doctor, but I drink tons of soy milk and nutritional yeast. Yes, I need to use nutritional yeast more in my cooking. Oh, sorry about the Pentagon thing. They came on saying UFOs are real. And they even chose some videos. Interesting. I haven't looked into that. I personally don't think Biden accusations are true, but I just wish for equal coverage regardless of view. That's a good thing to desire. I'd place myself in the first wave feminist camp, i.e. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony. Have you heard of these American women? Yes, we learned about it in school. Lizzie, you look nice. I like your earrings. Thank you. This is from a company called Anna Louisa Jewelry, who sponsored me last year. They're really amazing jewelry. It's super too high priced, but it is like real gold and everything. So yeah, I would never buy that for myself, but they gave it to me for free. And they actually accidentally sent me it twice, and they said it was fine and I could keep it. So I gave, like, it was like 3 pieces of jewelry. So I gave the necklace to my best friend and then the 2 earrings to my mom. So we actually have matching earrings. We can wear it together. How do you become a pope? So someone who's pope had been a priest at some point, and then a bishop, and then a cardinal, and then they become a pope. So it's through the Holy Spirit, where everyone kind of like they vote on who the Pope is. I'm pretty sure it's like a vote, but obviously the Holy Spirit's working through that. So in the New Testament, in the book of Acts, in Acts 1, after Judas kills himself, Judas, the guy who betrayed Jesus, there's also a Jude. Someone actually messaged me once and was like, why is Judas a saint if he betrayed Jesus and then killed himself? Because they got confused, because there's like a Jude who's one of the 12 apostles who's like totally different from Judas. So that's a different person. But anyways, Matthias was chosen to replace Judas in the book of Acts, chapter 1. And they like cast lots, which I think is where you get like sticks, and then whichever one is longest, like something like that. So anyways, the Holy Spirit was obviously working there. And so the Holy Spirit still works today through voting for the Pope. So obviously, it's kind of like in all the Catholic councils where we're like deciding which books are in the Bible and like, is God fully man or not, or fully God or not. Obviously, the Holy Spirit is constantly working and guiding the church. In Matthew 16, when Jesus is talking to Peter and telling him he's going to be the first Pope, he says that Satan will never like win over the church, and the Holy Spirit will be guiding it and keeping it pure. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Pope. I think a lot of people will think like, oh, it's so fake or something, but obviously it's not. So Pope is through vote before it was passed down or something like that. What happened between Tim Gordon and Taylor Marshall? So I don't like gossiping about situations, but basically on one Sunday a few weeks ago, Taylor Marshall tweeted, oh, it was on Easter, I believe. And he tweeted that his family received the Real Presence communion from an SSPX priest, which is a schismatic group. And obviously, they do have valid apostolic succession, so it is actually the real presence of the Eucharist. But he tweeted that, and obviously it's really controversial to associate yourself with the SSPX because they're not united with the Pope, so they're being schismatic, which is really toxic because Orthodoxy has always been tested by being united with Rome. So they don't think that Pope Francis is the real Pope. So then Tim Gordon obviously got mad, and I don't know why it got so bad. I didn't actually read anything that happened. I saw a few things after, but I wasn't on Twitter on Easter because it was Easter. I was celebrating Easter. Why would I be on Twitter? So I didn't see any of it go down, but I saw some things afterwards that were being really negative. And then Taylor Marshall blocked Tim Gordon and Steph Gordon and Dave Gordon. So like Tim Gordon's brother and then his wife. And yeah, they made a video talking about the SSPX. Apparently, I don't know how real it was, just because a lot of like internet beef, I always wonder if it's real or not. So I don't know if they're actually like not friends anymore or if they made up. Who really knows? You can pray for the situation. But yeah. Did you congratulate Mary on Mother's Day? Of course! You have to thank Mary for being the mother of the church. But anyways, in this situation, it's really important to pray for everyone involved. I know I didn't even know what was going on. I started getting DMs from my followers being like, what's happening? This is horrible. They're fighting. I don't understand it. Because they were on Taylor Marshall's channel. They had a show called TNT, because Taylor and Tim, so TNT, and they would do like theology talks for a long time. I watched it a ton. That's how I was familiar with Tim Gordon. So it was really sad that they were fighting. So yeah, that's what happened. I wonder why some Protestants accept the Council of Nicaea in matter of Christology, but reject the Council of Ephesus regarding Mary as Theotokos. Yeah, so people who are Protestant pick and choose what they want from Christianity, which Catholicism is Christianity. So I think a lot of people are unaware how reliant they are on our councils. So, and even like on the councils deciding what the Bible is, like what is the New Testament, that was decided by like the Holy Spirit working through Catholic bishops. So a lot of people are just unaware of the history of it all, which makes sense because like who has time to study like 500 years of Christian history? Like most people are not getting a degree in religion. Even if you do get a degree in a religion from a Protestant school, you're not going to focus on church history that much. So people are just ignorant of it. And I don't say that in like a negative or condescending way. It's just people are not aware. And they're not at fault for not being aware, which is why I made my video, Are Protestants Going to Hell? And the answer is, probably they're not all going to hell because they're not aware that the Catholic Church is the true church. So that's why my YouTube channel is so important, and it's so important dialoguing with Protestants, knowing why you're Catholic, being able to defend the church, because we can only be certain about our salvation if we're within the Catholic Church. And even then, it's kind of like up in the air because you could end up leaving the church at some point in your life. So yeah, like if you're currently Catholic, especially if you're a Catholic convert, you're so responsible for your salvation because you know the truth. And so if you left the true church knowing 100% it's the true church, then you're probably most likely going to hell. So we have a huge obligation to stay connected to the church. So anyways, thumbs up the video, like the video. It increases my place in the YouTube algorithm. For people who just got here, I was saying earlier as well, on all of my videos, anytime you comment and like a video, that is like the #1 way to support my channel because it increases my place in the YouTube algorithm. So I super appreciate that. And I read all my comments. Well, not all my comments, that would be impossible. But when a new video goes out, within the first like day or two, probably within the first 2 days, I read all the comments and I reply to people. So yeah, if you want me to read your comment on the video, comment as soon as the video is uploaded, and you'll know when the video is uploaded by hitting the notification bell. And the thing about the notification bell is when you click it, you get on some notifications, but you have to like make sure to select all notifications. So, and you also get notified when I begin to live stream. Hello, Lizzie! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Please tell the Adam and Eve creation story, but with other ape-like creatures running around. Okay. Literally, I am not a science person. I thought is this a different person that's asking me now? Like, I'm not the best person to answer this. I like disagreeing with you on stupid political issues, Lizzie, because you are reasonable and very, very nice. I have a low iron though, so I get dizzy a lot and I've kind of passed out before. Maybe I have low iron, I don't know. If Jesus could pick a bad apostle, why can't the Council of Cardinals pick a bad pope? Pope is through vote before it was passed down. So Judas was not the pope, Peter was the pope. So I think that's really, really important. Like, obviously someone who can be made a priest can go to hell and leave the church and be a heretic, but the Pope can never be a heretic in his formal beliefs. He can never like reject dogmas. So some popes might be in hell though for just how they lived and stuff. But yeah, so the Pope can never be a heretic, but that doesn't mean that he can't be an evil person and go to hell. So yeah, we don't believe that all popes are saints. I'm reading a book on the popes. I'm like reading through the book, but gradually, like I'll read a few pages every day. But there's some popes who are not considered saints by like the official Vatican list. So does that make sense? You can like, if you are pope, you can go to hell, but you can't be a heretic in that you have to agree with church teaching. So there's never been a pope who has disagreed with church teaching, and there never will be. Martin Luther was demonic. No, he wasn't demonic. I wouldn't say that. He fell off a horse and had a horrible brain injury, and he had generalized anxiety disorder. Like, you could diagnose it. He was supposed to appear at this like court date, and he like got freaked out and just like ran away and couldn't do it. But yeah, he had a lot of other examples of anxiety, but that doesn't mean you're demonic. So, he was tripping. Isn't Peter buried under a church or something like that? Yeah, under like, I actually don't know how that all works. I don't know if it's like, we can prove that it's actually Peter, but that'd be pretty amazing if it's been passed down that long. But yeah, Catholics keep the bones of like so many people. You should read Charles Columbus' books and interview him. Interesting. John Calvin was way worse than Luther. And maybe he had a mental illness too. We don't know. It's interesting though, because like Joseph Smith, who started Mormonism, definitely was bipolar. Like, I made a video on it. There's so many signs. Like, one example, he had like he had like dozens of wives, which is a symptom of hypersexuality. And then he like had manic times. Like, I was reading his diary entries, and it's like totally what I write about when I'm manic. and then the way he like wrote the Book of Mormon, like working on a project, like constantly working on it. And then he had like a hallucination of an angel. And oh my gosh, guys, like one of the, like, I've never been psychosis manic, but when you are, you tend to have like religious delusions and think like you're a prophet sent by God. And then he had depression periods too. So he had like bipolar type 1 with psychosis basically. So, which is pretty cool that bipolar is like that powerful that you could start a whole religion. But my history professor this semester said that Martin Luther didn't even intend to start a separate church. He just had concerns he wanted to address. But his thesis was printed and people revolted. Yeah, he just wanted to make some changes. So I'm sure that if he's in heaven or if he's in hell and he can see the situation, he probably completely regrets everything that he did. He's probably like constantly praying for reunification. Oh my gosh, he must feel horrible. Because he had no idea that the church would become this disunited, you know. While we can disagree that the SSPX are or are not schismatic, it's not fair to call them Sorry, the comment went up. They believe that Pope Francis is the true pope. Really? I'm interested to know that more. Hey, Lizzie, I have a question. 17 years old. My question is, I'm a Catholic. I don't understand why we always pray to Mary, Mother of God, and a lot of things. They don't talk a lot of stuff about God. Okay, so I have a playlist on my YouTube channel called Mary Theology. So YouTube search Lizzie's Answers Mary playlist on YouTube, and the playlist will come up. And I talk about like everything. I would start with my Mary Queen of Heaven video. I explain why we pray to her. Basically, in the Old Testament, there was a monarchy, and David was the king, and then he passed on the kingship to his son Solomon. Solomon's mom was named Bathsheba, and Bathsheba, this is all in the Bible, in 1 Kings chapter 1, I believe. So go read 1 Kings chapter 1. So she had a throne to the right of her son. It was called the Queen Mother, and the Queen Mother's job was to bring people's requests to the king. So that's what was going on in the Old Testament, and Jesus is a king in the line of David. So the same thing is happening. And also in the Old Testament, there was a second in command to the king, and the second in command was in charge if the king ever left the city and he like wore keys to the kingdom around his neck. So that's what the Pope is. He's the second in command. Our King Jesus went to heaven. He went away. So the second in command is in charge. It's called the steward position. So in Lord of the Rings, there was a steward as well. That's where J.R.R. Tolkien got it from. So yeah, but watch all my Mary videos. I'm sure that they'll help you to understand it. Definitely the first rosary video I made like 2 years ago explains like why we focus on Mary, because she was there for so many of the most important parts of Jesus' life. So the whole point is just seeing Jesus through her eyes, but the whole Queen Mother is why we're supposed to pray to her. By pray to her, I mean talk to her and ask her to pray for us. I'm going to sleep. Take care, Lizzie. Bye. Society of St. Pius V is not... I think that comment got cut off. Hi, Lizzie. Can you please explain what a cafeteria Catholic is? So that's a term that's like thrown around mostly just in the US. I mean, maybe in other countries. I don't know. But basically when someone doesn't agree with Catholic Church teaching on everything. So it's like when you're going into the cafeteria, you can like get mashed potatoes and like broccoli, but not carrots, and not turkey, and then bread, but not butter. So like imagine that you're supposed to have the entire meal. Let's make the turkey Gardein turkey roast, fake turkey, since I'm vegan. So let's say you were supposed to get, the Catholic Church is like the entire meal, but you only get certain parts of the meal, and so you don't believe all the teachings. So that's where we got it from. Lizzie's Mary videos are excellent. Very well done. Thank you. What happens when your manic kicks in? So I talk really fast. I write a lot, like so many words, so many thousands of words. Yeah, I write a lot. I become very, very flirtatious and not sexual. I've never had sex before. I don't really get, well, currently my medicine like completely gets rid of any sex drive. So it's interesting being in a relationship. I mean, we're long distance, so it doesn't really affect things that much, but like I'm attracted to my boyfriend, but not like sexually anymore. But I know I am, because in the past I have, even though we've never had sex. But you guys know what I mean. I think if you are chaste in your relationships too, you can know that you're attracted to someone without having sex with them. So yeah, but I would become like very, very sexual and like very physical, you could say. And you feel everything really, really, really strongly. I think one of the coolest parts is you're physically stronger. So like in the gym, you can lift more weights or run faster. Your pupils get huge. You don't need to sleep. You don't need to eat. So you just have like full out energy and can stay awake for days at a time. And you want to start new projects. I go on cleaning binges. I organize the furniture in my entire room. Yeah, stuff like that. I make a lot of videos. Lizzie, did you always believe in God? Yeah, I grew up Christian, so there's never been a time. Yeah, there was a time in like 2016 when I don't know if I stopped believing in God, but I like sort of became atheist. I was like very much doubting God and not wanting him to be real, and I like completely stopped praying and going to church. So that happened, but other than that, I've been very consistent with my belief in God. Did you write your novel while you were manic? No, I wrote my becoming Catholic story while I was manic. Good night, Lizzie. Sarah Quill, working, been up since 6 a.m. and it's almost 10 p.m. Good night. Have a good night. Catholics don't worship Mary. We honor her. Hi, Lizzie. Why are all the ape-like creatures? Why does that person keep commenting that? Can we like, it's weird. I can't wait until the school year to be over, so I'll have more free time to do theology, reading, and research. When does your semester end? Everyone I know, their semester just ended last week. Someone disagrees with the Big Bang Theory. Interesting. Are Jehovah's Witness Christian? I actually don't know. Can someone comment? Do they believe in the Trinity? That's ultimately what it comes down to. I'm graduating May 19th. Alexa, what is today's date?
Today is Sunday, May 10th.
Okay, so like in a week. What's the difference between heresy and schism? So heresy means you reject a church teaching. Schism means you are no longer united with the Pope. Do you like Marvel movies? I don't know what that is. Jehovah's Witness reject the Trinity. Okay, so they're not Christians, which is really upsetting because like a lot of them believe in God and they worship God and they have the Bible, but they don't believe in the same God that we believe in. Thank you for the donation. Perhaps it would be therapeutic to discuss. Oh my gosh, this guy is so ridiculous. He always comes in and talks about that. It's so weird. It's like a 13-year-old follower who I have. Okay. Some long questions. Vanessa asks, do you personally think boundaries within a Catholic relationship are really essential? Is it okay to do sexual acts in a relationship when you know you can keep it from leading to sex? So oral sex is sex. You should never touch sexual parts of the person. Yeah, so like giving a blowjob, oral sex, obviously is sex and should be completely avoided. Mostly because every single sex act in Catholicism has to end with the guy inside the woman, basically. And obviously, okay, that's not true. So, because the woman can get like pleasure afterwards, that's fine. But you know what I mean? Like the guy has to end like inside the woman. I know this is extremely graphic, but people literally ask these questions. So, because literally the church fathers would write, I feel uncomfortable. Okay, guys, I'll stop. I'm so sorry. I was trying to answer that person's questions. But anyways, sex has to be procreative. So if you're being sexual and it's not procreative, I feel like I came it died. Sex has to be procreative. And so if you're doing sexual acts and it's not procreative, then that's not allowed, like even within marriage. Every single sex act has to be unitive and procreative. So I think we understand what procreative means. I'm sorry, this is very personal. I was trying to answer the question. I know a lot of people are curious about these things. I Googled and I found a blog post by a priest that went in depth answering these questions. So yeah, I mean, sex is a very normal thing. It's part of the marriage covenant. It's beautiful. So it's important to understand how it works. Okay. Hey Lizzie, what do you do after marriage? Do you wait for 1 year to have kids? I'm confused in the future. I want to get married. I just don't understand it. What do you do after you get married? So it's up to you if you feel like you're at a place where you're ready to have kids, economically, emotionally, socially, physically. Like, I have bipolar disorder. If I'm in a depression episode, obviously I'm not ready to have a child. I made an entire video talking about natural family planning. So YouTube search Lizzie's Answers Natural Family Planning, and that video will come up where I interviewed an NFP instructor. NFP stands for Natural Family Planning. You might have heard of the rhythm method. It's not the rhythm method. I mean, it includes the rhythm method, but what Catholics use is the symptothermal method, which includes like taking your body temperature and looking at cervical mucus. Sorry guys, too personal. I mean, like, men, sorry for watching. So it has like a 99.7 perfection rate, 99.7% at postpartum pregnancy if you want to. So like, I am turning 26 this year. So if I get engaged this year or next year and then get married a year after that, I'll be like 28 or something. Sorry, Vince, we're getting very close and personal right now. So, sex is like a regular thing. Like, that's just like part of the woman's body. Like, talking about a period, like, that shouldn't be something that's uncomfortable. It's just part of the female body and it's beautiful. So, shut up, Vince. It's okay, be nice, you guys. I'm just trying to answer people's questions. People literally have these questions and it's important to answer them. Anyways, so it's up to you basically. Like, so for me, what I was about to say is that I will be like 28 or 29 when I get married. So if I want to have a few kids, that's like a great time to start having kids, just with like women have to stop having kids by the time they're like 38 or 40. So if I want to have several kids, then I want to start having kids around the time when I'm like 28 or 29 or 30. So I personally, unless I'm in like a depression episode, would want to have kids right away and not use natural family planning at all for like going into the marriage. But after that, I would definitely want to use it if I'm like right after pregnancy, because your body goes through so much during a pregnancy. Like, it's traumatic. Like, literally, like, your organs and bones, like, and muscles, like, move completely different places. Like, it's painful. It's horrible being pregnant. Some people love it, but obviously, like, for some people, it's a horrible experience. So, like, after giving birth to a baby, I would definitely use the symptothermal method of natural family planning to postpone a baby. I wouldn't want to get pregnant right away. But it's up to you. Obviously, sex is supposed to be procreative, so you should go into marriage wanting to have kids. Otherwise, in Catholicism, it doesn't make sense to get married if you don't want to have kids. But also, I want to adopt children, so I would probably space out. Like, if I had a baby naturally, then we wanted to adopt a child, we would probably use natural family planning for a couple years. If we're getting another child who's like, who knows how old the child would be when we adopt. Let's say it's like a 2-year-old you're adopting. We might want to postpone another pregnancy. So it's totally up to you. It's depending on like what your family is capable of having and everything. So there are some traditional Catholics who are like, natural family planning should never be used unless you're about to die and have zero money and are homeless. But yeah, it can totally be used. So definitely, if you just got here, I recommend my video on natural family planning talking about the symptothermal method. So go watch. YouTube search Lizzie's Answers NFP. So any other really personal sexual questions? This is a great live stream to talk about these things because it's already demonetized, because we talked about coronavirus at the beginning, so anything you want to talk about that is demonetized, let's talk about it in this live stream. Okay, thank you for the donation, but unfortunately, I have to put this person in timeout because their username is racist. Sorry you guys had to see that. Thank you for the donation, David. I appreciate it. Your angel emoji is really cute. Even if I wasn't impotent, childbirth and being pregnant sounds so painful and terrifying, so no thank you. Lizzie, what about infertile couples or old couples who marry? Marriage is not about procreation, it's about love. So marriage is obviously about love. Like when you have sex consensually, it's loving sex. So there's no distinction between procreation and loving. Like if you're having sex because you want to get pregnant and you're not enjoying the sex, that's not okay. Like sex, every single sex act needs to be procreative and unitive. And people are getting confused at the word procreative and the meaning of that. The meaning of procreative means you're not using something to block procreation. Obviously, when women, Catholic women and non-Catholic women, when they use these natural family planning methods, we are charting our fertility. So we know we're only fertile these like 5 to 7 days out of the cycle. And so we're not able to get pregnant during these like 20 days or whatever. And if you're currently pregnant, and like I said, if you are too old to have children, so there's so many times when it would be physically impossible, unless there was a miracle, for you to get pregnant. So does that mean you can only have sex during the 5 days when you're fertile? No. The church just asks you to not block procreation, to always be open to it. So by that, I mean, don't use birth control or contraception. That's it. So other than that, but if you're infertile, you're still able to get married. But obviously, it wouldn't make sense to me to get married if you're infertile and then not adopt children. Like, a big part of marriage is children. So, Phil, nice to see you again. Thanks for the donation. Lizzie is awesome. I read a good article about it. Yes, it can stay in the air under perfect conditions, but it doesn't look like that's an everyday situation. Have you tried a menstrual cup? I love them. Sorry, Vince. I think he left. Are you still here, Vince? I use a period cup. I have been using one since my senior year of college, which is around the time I went vegan. So it's really good for the environment and you save so much money. I made a YouTube video about period cups. So YouTube search Lizzie's Answers period cup, and I talked about my experience with it. If you're a female, I highly recommend watching it. Like, leave the live stream and go watch that. It was like one of those life-changing decisions because you don't have to deal with like smelling blood anymore, and you only have to remove it like twice a day. So in the morning and at night, that's it. And so you don't have to think about your period at all. And I don't get cramps because I don't eat dairy. That like going vegan gets rid of cramps, makes your period more consistent and makes it shorter and less painful. So I highly recommend going vegan if you have problems with your period. Is Vince here? This reminds me when my dad told me how I was conceived. It was awkward because I didn't ask him. Lizzie, it's great to talk about these things. Kudos to you. A lot of Christians self-censor. If I didn't have kids and was supposed to, does that mean there were people who should have existed that didn't? No, because okay, here's the thing, you guys. So the world is like predetermined, but there's also free will at the same time. I've discussed this in so many live streams. If you're curious about this topic, DM me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll send you a book recommendation that talks about the philosophy of free will. There's a theory called, go to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy and read the entry called compatibilism. It's a free will theory, which is like the Christian Catholic free will theory, as far as I know. Someone correct me if it's not. But hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing? Thanks for being a moderator. Nice to see you. So yeah, and the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy is actually amazing. So I highly recommend going and using that as much as possible if you ever want to. So we have been streaming for past an hour. Wow. Lizzie, what do you think about the use of Mary or religious images in high-end fashion? What if a celeb wears a shirt with Mary's image on it but has no devotion to her? I think that's totally fine. I think it's really cool if people bring parts of Catholic culture into the world. I think that's great. I'm not the type of person to get offended by anything. I think getting offended is like a horrible evangelism strategy. So from a practical level, just don't get offended by people. You know what I mean? Like, so many people when I give talks during Q&A are like, how do I talk to Protestants when they're so mean about our theology? Just don't get offended. It's so easy. I don't know. I'm very much into like turning on and turning off emotions. So for me, it's easy to just like do something. So I don't know how to explain it, but just like, I think for me it's easy too because I hated Catholicism, so I can really relate to other people who hate Catholicism. But it's important to just not get offended and don't be sensitive. And maybe if you struggle with that, pray about it. Thank you for the donation. Message deleted. Uh-oh. I wonder what he said. I still get the money though. That's nice. May is the month of Mary. I don't understand why when you have your period, your stomach hurts. That doesn't happen to me. I'm really sensitive and cry at tiny criticism, so I get offended easily. Pray about it. Pray in the rosary. Miracles happen when you have prayer requests during your rosary. Can we talk about that's not sex or sex related? I feel so uncomfortable. Don't be here then if you don't want to. There will be another live stream soon. What did you think about the Met Gala Catholic inspiration? I thought it was really cool. The one where Rihanna was a sexualized pope. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, when they over-sexualize something, see, even if I wasn't Catholic, I would be offended by it if they over-sexualize something. So that's kind of like weird. So sensitive squad. Can we talk about bullies? Yeah. So I was bullied in school, in like middle school, but it was guys being flirtatious, which is a bullying strategy. You know how guys are in like middle school? They're really weird. So guys would make fun of me and say I was like too skinny, and they would also say I was too fat, like at the same time. And thank you for the donation, brother. True. Why is resisting sex harder for guys? Guys are just ingrained with a bigger sex drive. I mean, that's what I think. Okay, also, okay, I don't want to talk about this. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Men are more easily like become sexual because they're more visual, and women are more like emotional about it. So it's easier for guys to like get turned on than women. That's how I see it from like my conversations with my best friends. And guys, that's the thing. Like, I talk to my guy friends about sexual things. Like, they're my best friends. So I don't think it's weird to be talking about these things to a co-ed audience at all, because I talk about it with my friends. And I feel like extremely comfortable around you guys because I've shared like everything about my life with you guys. So yeah. Also, if you just got here, thumbs up the video, like the video. The number one way to support my channel is to comment and like every single video because it increases my place in the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you want to know when my notifications, if you want to be notified when my videos are up, click on the notification bell. But when you click on the notification bell, it automatically says some notifications. So if you want all notifications, make sure to select all notifications. So I've never been bullied, just people occasionally calling me ugly, but that's it. I do be kind of lucky though. Yeah, I was really, really lucky too that I didn't get bullied. Okay. That's why porn is so damaging for young men. Yes. Do you think it's because women are better looking? I think everyone was bullied at some point. Lizzie, before you met your boyfriend, did you find guys have issues with no sexual relations outside of marriage? No, because I went to a Christian college, so everyone was, I mean, not everyone, but everyone in my friend groups and social groups was saving sex for marriage. At least I think so. I would be shocked if anyone of like my best friends wasn't. So maybe people were lying, I don't know, but guys that I was interested in were very much into sexual boundaries. So that's why you should be with someone who agrees with you 100% on saving sex for marriage. It's so easy. It's not easy to find people, but I'm just saying that it's so easy to save sex for marriage when you're with someone else who's on the same page. Thank you for the donation. Lizzie, I would love to hear Catholics in society talk more about how to have a successful relationship and marriage. I think getting relationships right makes all other stuff easier. Are you talking about how if you have like a healthy marriage or a healthy dating relationship, it makes your life more peaceful? Any tips on how to deal with alcohol cravings? I'm really worried that I'll become an alcoholic. Being home does nothing, making it worse. I tend to drink if I'm bored. So I've also been told not to bring this up again, but okay, I talk to guys who deal with this, and it's the same thing. Oh, it's actually the same thing as it's an addiction. Guys who are addicted to porn, it's the same thing where they're bored, and sometimes that's why they go to porn, because there's just like nothing else to do. So I think it's the same thing with drinking. You're bored. So get some hobbies and start pursuing those hobbies. Like start painting, learn how to play guitar, start writing a poem, learn how to knit, like pick up an artistic baking bread. My sister's really into baking, like English muffins and bagels and like Italian bread and rolls and croissants. Like she bakes all sorts of different things. So just find a hobby that you really, really love doing, even like working out, building muscle. When are you going to play guitar for us? I've played guitar on many live streams before, so you just have to like find them. But yeah, so develop a hobby, and my former porn addiction had some links to my child abuse. That makes sense to me. Where did you get your face mask? DM me on Instagram or Twitter. I got it from a company that one of my subscribers recommended, that his sister runs the company. So if you guys just got here, this is my face mask. I'm trying to not touch the outside part. But it's really, really cool because it has a filter, and then that part is like that. So it like blocks the air really, really well. So I love my face mask. I love your face mask. Okay, I'm gonna be sad. Obviously, like I don't want people to die, okay? But I've kind of been enjoying my face mask and wearing it because it really reflects my personality like a lot. Like hot pink is my favorite color. So yeah, I'm kind of gonna be sad because this is like a fashion piece in my outfit now. So I can like match my outfit to my face mask. So I think it's always a positive thing if you make something fun that's awful. So, okay. Do you listen to generally Christian worship music, or is there like Catholic worship music? So, number one, Catholicism is Christianity. It's like the original church Jesus established. I understand what you mean though, like Protestant music. So there's some Catholic music like Audrey Assad, Jackie Francis, Matt, what is his name? Matt Maher. So there are some Catholic artists, but not that many, which is kind of weird that there aren't. But Protestantism is more into like capitalism, so it kind of makes sense. Have you done any of the sacraments like drive-through confession, adoration, or online mass? Yes, not drive-through confession, but online mass. Are there any bands of nuns that you can recommend? I don't know any. I wish I could stay, but I have to go finish homework. Thanks, Lizzie. Love you. You're the best. Bye. I didn't even know Audrey Assad was Catholic. Lizzie, you said you are a vegan one time, I think. How do you resist temptations to break your diet? I cook really good food. And I've like perfected how to cook food that I like. So the food I cook like when I'm at home is better than the food that I cooked back when I ate meat. Does that make sense? So get really, really good at cooking food, and get like fake meat products and fake cheese and fake milk and everything. Because then it's like you can't be like, oh, I miss sausage. Because it's like I have the Beyond sausage in my fridge right now, and they're like bomb and better than meat. So same with cheese. Like the vegan cheese I get is from a company called Chow, and it's like bomb. It's so good. So, and then veggie burgers as well. So yeah, just season your food really, really well. It's really hard when you travel, so try to like pack sandwiches and stuff with like tofurkey and vegan cheese and bread. And what do I eat the most when I travel? Nuts and bananas. And avocado. So I will just like eat an avocado like how I eat an apple, like peel it, and that's like 400 calories. And then I'll also eat bananas and nuts and bread. So yeah, always pack ahead of time when you travel, because it's so hard to, if you're like in Virginia, for example. Virginia? Like, I love Virginia. I have a lot of, like, family and friends who live there. But when you're driving through rural Virginia, they just don't have meat. I mean, they don't have vegan options at all. So, yeah. Why the Catholic women don't have the scarf in church? I don't know why that ended. I think she means veils. Do you know Joe Biden is Catholic? What do you think about that? So he's not a practicing Catholic. He's been denied communion before. Lizzie, oh, we already answered that question. Okay, let's see. I'm 503 from Oregon, but I'm in Utah now, so it's 801 here, area code. Interesting. I wish I had a healthy dating life. A sweet lady, you just have to keep trying. Like, one of my friends who just got married last year, she went on like hundreds of dates. I don't know if it was actually hundreds, but she says that she went on hundreds until she found her now husband. So you just have to keep trying and trying and trying. How do you deal with dating frustrations? I'm tired of being ghosted. Sometimes I just want to give up. How do you deal with dating woes? So I got really lucky, and I've only been in 2 relationships in my life, and one is my current relationship, which we're going to get married. So yeah, I don't... Okay, that's not true though, because like I would be like talking to a guy all throughout college, like always, pretty much. I was always like talking to a guy, and except when I was in depression. So I think the best advice I ever got was by one of my campus ministers in college, and I had just gone through like a weird situation with a guy and been really hurt. And he was like, you have to not open up immediately. So I learned the way to not get hurt and upset is to not share a lot of information about yourself until you're in a committed relationship. So don't like open up your entire heart and soul and share all these depth stories and stay up until 2 a.m. in your college campus just talking and talking and talking. Also, don't get physical with people you're not in a committed relationship with. So like, I sometimes was too emotionally vulnerable until I learned to not be emotionally vulnerable, which sounds bad, but like you can later on. So then, amazing advice, thank you. The other thing is to not get physical with people who you don't know. So don't kiss someone unless you're dating them. Unless like they're your boyfriend or girlfriend, don't kiss them at all. Which might seem weird to some of you, but it's so easy. You just push the guy away and say no. That's what I've had to do throughout my life. So, yeah, just be really, really assertive. If someone tries to kiss you, push them away. If someone tries to like, this happens a lot. If you're like sitting on a couch and then a guy like tries to go like close to you, then like scoot away really awkwardly. And then, or like stand up and move to a different chair. If you're like in a social group, just like stand up and leave. And, yeah, give like less, don't like hug so much so like your chest is like crammed against him. You know what I mean? If you're not dating. So yeah, this might help end my single status. So that's my recommendation, to go really, really, really slow. And here's a great way to not open up to people right away. Ask them questions. Have them share. But don't ask too personal questions because you don't want them to get hurt either. And what's some other advice? Yeah, just be comfortable just like talking to people and being friends and not thinking like, oh my gosh, are we gonna date? Just like be chill and just like be in a talking phase with this person. Don't be like, can we go on a date? Is this a date? Let's define this. Just be chill with the situation. So, yeah, that's my advice. If people ghost you, don't get close to them in the first place. Don't get physically close either. So, yeah, I hope that helps you guys. I learned that when I was a sophomore in college, and it was really, really helpful. So, be confident. Yes, confidence is like the most important thing with being the most attractive character trait for sure. What else can I share? Dating advice. I should make relationship advice videos again. What do you guys want to hear for relationship advice videos because I'm in a relationship. So I figured out how to be in a successful relationship. I have no idea how to get into a relationship. Just get a dating app after quarantine. Get a dating app, get on Bumble, and go on like dozens and dozens of dates, and then you will get married. That's how it worked for a lot of my friends who got married last year. They met on Bumble or Tinder. I recommend Bumble. People on Bumble tend to be more into relationships, and Tinder is more hooking up. But my best friend who got married last year met on Tinder. So yeah, just be really upfront that you don't want to hook up as well. You can literally say that on the dating app. Be like, I'm looking for a relationship, not hooking up. Like, say that in the dating app just so no one gets confused and no one's feelings got hurt. I found my fiance on Catholic Match. Shaving my head made me more attractive. I agree. Teach relationship advice in high school. I watched your Signs a Boy Likes You video from forever ago the other day. Oh my gosh. Any dating app safe? I've heard negative feedback on dating apps. No, I've heard only positive feedback from dating apps, but always meet in a public place. I've used dating apps before. Always meet at a restaurant. Try to make it lunch rather than dinner. If it is dinner, meet in a super public place. I can't shave my head. I'm a girl. Do you do online Bible studies? Yes, I do Zoom Bible studies. But I have a Gospel of John Bible study that I started. So YouTube search Lizzie's Answers Gospel of John Bible study and it will come up. Okay. A good spouse is someone who loves God more than they love you. I mean, it's not a competition though. If your spouse loves you most of all, someday you will let them down and then fall from grace. Thank you for the donation, #1 fan. Oh, that's so sweet. Kenny, is that your name? I accidentally sneezed on someone today. Can't believe I did that. Felt so bad. I'm so sorry. That's a horror. Sorry, I'm laughing at you. That just must have felt horrible. I can't imagine. What if you kiss them intending to make them your other half? You should discuss them being your other half before kissing them. I would really pretty as a girl. That's what people tell me. I don't know why. They say you would look really pretty as a girl. See, I think it's really weird when people make statements like that. Like, look good as a guy. You'd look good as a woman. Like, what does that even mean? I don't understand people who say that. Do women in their early 20s find men in their 40s attractive? Yes, some people. There's this, one of my friends I follow on Instagram. She's not like my in real life friend, but we like talk on Instagram. She's 27 and she's dating a guy who's like 45 and she's attracted to him. So it depends on some people are. My cousin lives in Japan and likes your videos. Oh, yeah, especially since Lizzie, will you do a video on Lectio Divina? I have led Bible studies with that before. What would you like me to talk about? Just what it is? Christian Mingles, Christian Connections, or other great Christian dating apps. I do Zoom Bible studies too in our church services on YouTube. Lizzie, how can I be a moderator? Add moderator. Now you're a moderator. What's your favorite Bible translation? New American Bible or New Revised Standard Version Bible? Oh my gosh, guys, I have a story to tell you. So companies sponsor my videos sometimes. You guys have seen my videos. I'll be like, okay, I'm taking 30 seconds of your time. Buy this t-shirt. Look at this rosary. Buy this Bible study session. You know what I mean? Like, I do sponsored videos and they pay me to do a promotion on my channel. So recently, a company wanted me to promote their movie, which I'm going to make a video soon promoting the movie. So she's like, I'm mailing you a merch kit for the movie. So I'm like, cool. Like, I hold it up and talk about the movie. And then I'm like, here is my rate. And she's like, I'm like, here's my rate. Does it work with your advertising budget? So I always say that so they can negotiate down if they need to. I'm always open to negotiating. So she's like, oh my gosh, we don't have an advertising budget. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have sent the merch kit to you. And I was like, how do you not have an advertising budget? And she's like, most movies we do, but this one we don't have an advertising budget. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll do it for free. This is cool. Like, you sent me a merch kit. Anyway, so I opened the merch kit and there's a leather Bible. And leather is not vegan. Like, as a vegan, I don't buy leather and I don't use leather because the leather industry is horrific and it like really harms animals. It's not done in a moral way. So I'm gonna do a giveaway on my Instagram and give away this merch kit and add in a few other things that I like. So be following my Instagram. If you don't have a Bible, it's an NRSV translation, which I love the NRSV. So, yeah. Have you had makeup companies sponsor you or wanting to sponsor you? Yes. I reject pretty much every beauty and makeup company just because that's not my channel. So I did a makeup brush tutorial like a few years ago and the video didn't do very well. So, yeah. If I did a beauty video, people don't watch them because that's not like my normal channel content. But yeah, you guys would be shocked how many brands I reject who try to work with me. Like, I barely ever work with companies. And once I became Catholic, I started working with more companies because it was like faith-based companies that you guys are actually interested in. So, oh my gosh, guys, I'm being sponsored by fashion companies though soon. I'm waiting for products to come in the mail, but this company, like a fitness company and a, just like regular cute female clothing company are sponsoring me. So I'm gonna make like a summer lookbook video or like a mass outfits video and do Instagram posts. So I've been trying to build my Instagram. I want to get to 10K. So companies have been reaching out to me a lot for Instagram, but like you make commission, but some of them have been okay. So the Instagram companies are kind of trying to scam you because they won't pay you for the post. They only pay you through commission and won't even send you free products. So I've rejected a lot of companies that have been trying to work with me because like you don't know 100% if people are going to buy the product. So it's like I'm investing money into this sponsorship without even knowing if I'm going to make money out of it. So, but some companies do send you products for free. So yeah, it's one of the things that I'm like so grateful for, that I get free products sent to me that I get to pick out. So like these were from a company. So well done for getting fashion sponsors. Thank you. Will you be journaling your pregnancy experience from diet to physical sensations for each one? I plan on doing that as there's barely ASPE pregnancy experience that's studied. That's so important. Yeah, maybe I'll do blogs or something. Lizzie, that's such a scammy practice. They should pay you to promote things. I feel like when I have children, they're going to be just like me, stubborn and have an attitude. I don't think that's going to be a good thing. You can raise them to be better. I heard a traditional priest call the NAB short for not a Bible, but that's the one we use during Mass. LOL, anyone else would love a leather Bible, wrong person. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, but oh no, I can't share this yet. So I'm being sponsored by my favorite YouTube channel soon. And oh, I can tell you guys, Word on Fire, Bishop Barron's company, is sponsoring and they're not paying, but they're sending a free product. And I'm like, I will promote you without getting paid because I love them so much. So look out for that. And Blessed is She is sponsoring me too. So I'm going to show you guys their journal soon. It's like a planner, but like a Catholic planner with, I've actually promoted a Catholic planner company before. So I have a planner. It's in here and I don't use it. I don't know where it is. See, that's how much I use it. I don't even know where it is. But I was doing journaling for like a couple months last year and then I stopped. So I'm going to start it up again once I get this like Blessed is She Catholic planner. So I'm actually going to use it and try it out before promoting it. So I fell asleep to their podcast every night, which sounds, do you prefer hardcover or soft cover Bibles? Soft cover. I always love soft cover because I feel like I can like, okay. So I'm very like physically sensitive to things. So I like am very particular about fabrics and smells and texture. And yeah, I love being cozy. So I like how soft cover books, like, does that make sense? It's cozier and not like a hard surface. So I would promote a literal Saint Adam to Bishop Barron. What does that mean? Lizzie, have you